One, ladies and gentlemen, the long-awaited return of Coach Brick.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, Coach, I'm telling you, I'm so thankful you came. My wall was missing that one brick. And
That's right.
yeah,
That's right.
yeah,
You're well.
yeah, man. And you really given your time and effort to this over your Thanksgiving holiday and with the family and this and that and everything. So thank you very much. And that, get your well certified Hall of Affinity right away.
That's right. Well, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having a conversation. I'm excited to chat with you today.
Right. And so the deal is that I told you bring a shovel because we want to get deep into this. Is about the last game, the last season. No matter where you go, whatever your age is, if there's a next season, there's a way to compact all this. And when it's over, one has to deal with it. It took me to in the 30s before I was able to really put it together that I could make sense of it and embrace it
Right.
as a stepping stone into greater things. And I just have that idea, so I don't know where to go. And I look in the mirror and I said, "You better call Coach Brick." So yeah, so that's where you're at, and I'll leave it there and have you go at it. Bring the shovel.
Yeah, so, today we're talking really about just being able to be self-aware and reflect not only after a game, but after an entire season or, the work of art that maybe you just finished, right? And so zooming in, I think for me, one thing that's important is just to have the practice of reflection daily, right? Like if you build that into your games, if you build that into your day, just as simple as after a training or a game, just identifying 2 things you did well and 2 things you want to get better at. And then also just asking, did I put it all out there today, right? And being able to sleep well because you did. And so I think that if you start by just putting that practice into your daily and, then at night as a person, just when your head hits the pillow, did I give everything I could today? How can I be better tomorrow? And it's nothing earth shattering, right? It's 2 to 3 questions, but the practice of it is what's important. So I would say first establishing that throughout your season, throughout your days, and then at the end of the season, maybe even at the end of your career, asking those same questions. What did I do well? Like, how did I make this program or this team better than how I found it, right? If it's at the end of your career, and finding those things and being your own hype person in a way, because, our brain naturally always goes to the negative, right? We have this negative bias where it's there to protect us, but sometimes it's hard after you perform to find the positives, find the things that you did well, because we always are just kind of crushing ourselves over the mistakes or the missteps and things like that. So it's a practice. And so I think that first having the intention to create action with this practice would be baseline.
Well, as you know, I basically did what you said, not knowing what I was doing back in the day. Congratulations, man.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, I think the next step to this is having that practice. But, we're human, right? Emotions are going to come up. Like you mentioned, like it took you a long time to maybe process some of those emotions. So maybe that's the next step as well, is feeling the emotions and like being able to sit in those, whether, they're perceived as good or bad, but you have to feel it and work through it, whatever that emotion may be as well. So, the emotional side of it, especially if we're talking about reflecting after a career, and you've played since you were a young person, that can be really hard to separate your identity then from your performance, your sport, to who you truly are. So the next step, like you mentioned too, working through your emotions, working through your perception of the performance too.
Whoa. A good look in the mirror, it kind of reveals your character. Mm. And like you said, hey, I know the negative versus the positive, but that having that fear of a false event appearing real, well, leaving doubt and uncertainty. But that inner, what you said about the human being, it could help us with that, to say, hey, Wales, come on, baby. The time is coming. So be about the business of, doing it as best as you can, and then enjoy the experience. I really took a hold of the journey to extraordinary. So for those graduating seniors, and for, going in retirement, are losing the job, you say, hey, it's tough. It's coming at the end of the year. And Santa Claus ain't coming. They just gave me this, get going list, Yeah. And but that can work to your positive, because it really, in that human spirit, if you go to drugs and alcohol, that's just putting you more into depression. That, knowing, and that's why I really kind of love you, Coach Brick, is that the science and the practicality of that science to really help an individual. And I can't, I hope, towards the end you'll be able to say how to get a hold of you. Can you do it right now? How to get a hold of you, and this and that? Because you are a diamond. You are the kind of like the best of the best for the last several years I've known you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And I love you too, Coach Wales. I appreciate, getting to know you over the past few years and connecting. So I'm Coach Brick, Meredith Brick, and I have a company or business, Brickwall Training, and I'm a mental performance coach and performance visualization specialist. And what I do within that is I help primarily young athletes learn systems and frameworks and processes to help manage their thoughts and emotions as a person, which helps them as a player. So that's a little bit about what I do. You can find me at brickwalltraining.com, and you can see my resources there. I have a contact page on my website to reach out to me. I'd love to connect with anyone in your audience who feels like they could use some support. Or, the thing with mental training and training your mind, a lot of times we think that it's a reactive thing, right? Like once things are bad, we want to start training our mind. But, it's like you want to have a proactive approach as well. And actually that's preferred, where, you become a warrior, you train, you battle, you spend time working on practical tools to build your thought patterns and routines. And then when you go to battle, you are prepared. So, with mental training, proactive approach. But of course, if you're in the trenches, if you're in the weeds, like no better time to start than now. So that's a little bit about what I do and where you can find me.
Man, they talk about building character. It's not like, okay, you got what you got, but you can also build it. And there's a proper some proper techniques to use to build it so it doesn't fall down. But I am so grateful you talked about, if you don't prepare, well, you're going to prepare to fail, bruh. That's it. And because you don't and having no choice is a choice too. So that proactivity, doing it on the front end will get you all kinds of compounded interest on the back end.
That's right.
Yeah. And so all that type of stuff, it's not phony baloney. It's not, you can't believe everything you hear and this and that. No, this is a foundation of the human experience. It's 2025 going into 26. Bring it. That's part of your luggage. Yeah. And the whale, I pack light, and and that's what I learned from you is that you don't have to you get that topic, you get that guide, and allow yourself. You're a being, and you can do this, and you have given me self-esteem by saying, okay, if I follow the topics of Coach Brick, I'm going to have a magnificent wall from the whale wall.
That's right. Brick by brick, baby.
Yeah, and have you found that, is it really anybody can really do it if you have, a 1-2?
Yeah, I think, you talked about, being extraordinary, and I'm not saying that I'm extraordinary, although I believe I am in different regards, but if you look at maybe your role models, even actors, actresses who've made it big time in the movies, they seem extraordinary to us, but really it's just those people have done ordinary, boring, simple things for a very extended period of time. And so it absolutely comes down to your want to, your will and desire, but also the practice of it. I think that as I teach people, I'm just the guide. I can give the tools, but it's up to that individual if they want to apply it. And same for me, in my own life, using the tools that I teach people, but like having the discipline, even when it's messy and ugly and I don't feel like it, being able to sit down and write one page in my journal because my thoughts are all over the place, or sit for even just 1 to 2 minutes and focus on my breath and calm my nervous system. That takes that sense of discipline and awareness, and it's just doing those simple things over an extended period of time. And like you said, I think it absolutely comes down to the will. You have to have that desire to build yourself in those small, what seem like insignificant moments too.
And it's not cruel. We are not saying that, hey, come on, you could do it, you could, this, that. No, this is the reality of being a human being.
Yeah.
Unless you got certification that, sorry, whales, you can't do it, There's a, say for right now, hey, there's a weight requirement. You get going. But if you are human, you're a life coach that you tell people you're not being cruel to them. You can do it. No, I can't. No, I can't. Well, keep saying it and write it down and do what we recommend you to do. And just like all of us, you'll come out on the other side saying, holy cow, that was magnificent.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Well, do I get a whale certification for myself? Or did I come up to something?
I don't have the sound. You're going to have to do the sound.
All right. Well, it's coming up to that time when the somebody who's doing the electricity is saying, hey, I need a break. And so it comes to where every episode I try, but this is really something, because of who you are, Coach Brick, is there anything you want to say to whoever you want to say it to for as long as you want to say it for?
Yeah, I think that, in the work that we've talked about today, in the work of being human and building your spirit so that you can go to battle as a performer, I think in general, just being able to give grace and compassion to yourself is what also is going to make you stronger. And, just to whoever's out there, whatever battle you're currently facing or whatever trenches you're trudging through right now, just keep going. And I think that's something I try and tell myself a lot, especially on those days where I don't feel like it or want to do it. It's just, you got to keep going, keep showing up for yourself. And that's the most valuable thing that I think you can do for yourself and for your future too.
Thank you, Coach Brick. Thank you. Well, there you have it. That's why I love her. And reach out, play it back to get that brick wall, Coach Brick Walls. Get that and get to her as soon as possible for the new year. And you've been a great traveler on my journey to extraordinary. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, I appreciate you, and thanks again for creating a space for us just to chat, and always look forward to connecting with you again.
All right, then. So we'll go with the boom boom, and this has been Whale Certified, and you too can be Whale Certified if you only try and keep going. All right. So, good night, and the happy Thanksgiving to you and your wonderful family, okay?
All love. Happy Thanksgiving to you too.
All right, then. Bye-bye.